Today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the brand new Jada Toys Guardians of the Galaxy die-cast metal figures. In this review, we'll be having a look at product code M150 Star-Lord, product code M154 Rocket Raccoon, and the deluxe product code M156 the Groot. All of these figures are 100% die-cast metal, and you can currently find them at local comic book stores, and some retail stores also stock these as well. I figured we'd also have a look at these in just one review because they are all from the Guardians of the Galaxy line. So on the front there, we've got the Guardians of the Galaxy running down the far left side of the package, Star-Lord presently inside the package. And the back, all three figures, the 4-inch Star-Lord, 4-inch Rocket Raccoon, and 6-inch Groot. To check out more from the folks over at Jada Toys, head over to www.jadatoys.com. The Rocket Raccoon is exactly the same. Shows you the figure on the back, the Star-Lord and Groot as the other figures that you can pick up. And packaging for Groot is exactly the same as well, just much bigger. Much bigger. The 6-inch Groot on the left side, Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon. Spot's going to take a break, get these three opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Jada Toys die-cast metals Guardians of the Galaxy figures. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so now we've got these guys out of packaging. Let's get a better look at the figures. You know what? We'll start with Star-Lord, and then we'll look at Rocket Raccoon, and then we'll look at Groot. Fun figures. Once again, Jada Toys delivers really cool little collectibles. If you are new to the realm of Jada Toys are essentially smaller, super stylized version of your favorite characters, and they're die-cast metal. That's their big selling point, is that they're die-cast metal. What you end up getting from that is a high-quality figure. I think personally is much better than, not mentioning the name of the other company, but those super little deformed characters that are flooding comic book stores with the big black eyes. I'm not going to say anything else, but really for the price point, would you rather something like this? Or would you rather something like those, which I think their time really finally has come. They need to just stop making. Anyways, rant aside, Star-Lord here is presented very nicely in a almost cranberry color or raspberry colored shirt here. It's a little bit more on a shinier side versus the more matte color of his pants. He's got the orb in his hand and also wearing the Star-Lord mask. Posability on these, now that's the one thing that they won't really have a lot of, posability. Star-Lord doesn't appear to have any. Normally there would have been a waist swivel. If you've seen other reviews that I've done of these guys, there's always that waist swivel, you know what I mean? But unfortunately this guy doesn't have that. It's just just like a brick statue. But at least the pose is nice. Paint is top notch. I don't see any QC issues at all with the paint application on this. Very nice piece. The only downside, though, on my backdrop, you know how notorious my backdrop is, sometimes they don't actually stand very well. I'm very surprised, actually, that Star-Lord is standing fine right now. I'm not going to say anything. We're just going to kind of tiptoe back, and we'll next have a look at Rocket Raccoon. I'm assuming that this is a Series 1. Maybe Series 2 will have some of the other characters from Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I can't imagine that they would simply just give us Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot, and not give us the other team members. So maybe a Series 2 is in the works or is being produced as we speak. Rocket Raccoon, again, die-cast metal. He's a little bit smaller than the likes of Star-Lord, as you can see there. But at least they give him an extra blaster, so you feel bang for your buck. At least you get the blaster, so it's not simply just a smaller figure by comparison to Star-Lord. I quite like Rocket Raccoon. I think he turned out very nice. I like the look on his face. Very determined look on his face. The blaster feels like it's also metal. One of the indicators that you can look at for metal figures is screw holes. Just the way that everything is sandwiched together, there's always that visible screw hole. But at least on the back, which actually harks back to my WWE review of these guys too, not these ones, but the superstars. I noticed that there was plugs on the back, and I think that's the route they're going with. They're plugging the back area where the screws were residing so that you don't see the screws on the back of the figure. It's a nice touch. The tail still has it. A couple of screw holes on the blaster, but it's so small you almost don't even see it. Posability on Rocket Raccoon is, well, it's about the same as Star-Lord. Sadly, doesn't have anything. It is what it is, but it doesn't really bother me too much. We'll just get Star-Lord to stand. I knew he was gonna fall, but I quite like Rocket Raccoon. I think he's my favorite from this set. And a perfect example of a figure that could easily have done a deluxe of, and that is Groot. Groot looks cool. He's got his hand out. I mean, I guess you could kind of put Rocket Raccoon on his hand. I mean, obviously he would not stand, but just for having a little bit of fun there. Groot, by size of the figure and the fact that he is metal, I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys he's a lot heavier than the other two figures. Paint is very nice. I like that they've washed a little bit of the green on the top of his head there, and some green on the front of his chest, arms, and legs. Very sprinkled in there, not heavy. The facial expression, very nice also. You could assume too that he is staction. He is staction. You can't move his arms, his legs. But what you are getting, though, is a really nice, simplistic, smaller version of Groot in figure form. I just love his facial expression. It seems so inviting. Like if this was in somebody's collection and I walked into their room for the first time, I would look over at a happy Groot and I would just think, you know what? I don't want to be anywhere else but this room right now. Mission accomplished, Jada Toys. Mission accomplished. But these are really fun figures. You know how Spot feels when it comes to the Jada Toy releases. I always like picking these guys up. What I always look at for these, personally speaking, if I can get Groot to stand here, sometimes a little bit more difficult on this backdrop. But what I always look at when it comes to Jada Toy releases is the fact that they're a good, affordable, keeping in mind these are die-cast metal figures, they're about, you know, $10 to $14. This is a nice, healthy, refreshing alternative to the aforementioned collectibles that you go into comic book stores and it's usually the entire wall of them. Generally very common looking figures. They all look the same, give or take a few sculpts here and there. And this is a refreshing take to something like this. If you're tired of that and you want an alternative, I think the Jada Toys are right up your alley. Especially if you're a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, if hopefully we can get ourselves a Series 2, we can get the rest of the team members as well. Today's collectible spot, though, we're having a look at the Jada Toys Guardians of the Galaxy. We're looking at Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon of the 4-inch line, and we're looking at the 6-inch version of Groot. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.